Pleasure to meet you, sir.
You too.
So the show debuted last week, and 2 great ratings, I understand.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Predictable, I think. There was a lot of, they did a great job promoting it.
They did.
But also,
I was a little nervous.
Yeah.
I was a little nervous. Yeah, you know, some of that initial hesitation I had to even audition sort of crept back in, you know, right before the night of the premiere.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, are we going to find a younger audience?
Yeah. Well, again, they did the masterful job of making it still Dallas. It's so Dallas. Not that you'd remember. You were, what, 1 year old when the thing debuted?
I wasn't even born when the show debuted. I was born in December of '78, so
wow.
The year of the show debuted.
But they did a great job of recapturing the old one, and of course having the original cast, and totally younging it up with the next generation. And of course the central conflict, although there are many, the central conflict between you and John Ross III.
Yep.
It's very much smacks of the original.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the feuding cousins instead of the feuding brothers, and I mean, I think you said it perfectly. It really was a great marriage of the original series and these new generation characters.
Yeah.
You know, and it was in the writing. You know, it was a seamless transition. You know, from the original series to the new series. You know, as though the cameras just weren't rolling for 20 years.
Yeah, no, it is. It's not a sequel. It's not. Well, it is kind of a sequel, but not really. It's not a reboot. It's not a remake. It's still Dallas. Like they've been living their lives for the last 20 years. When we drop back in, because both John Ross and Christopher were characters in the original.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the great thing about these characters, though, too, is that, I mean, I feel like, and it's the choice that I made with my character, is that there's a lot more gray area with the new generation characters.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have to adhere to, you know, what's happened in the past, much like, you know, Larry and Patrick do with their characters. You know, they have to stay true to who their characters are, because they're very established characters. I mean, we're playing relatively new characters, so we got to make some stronger choices coming in.
70s was a simpler time.
It was. I mean, visually too. I mean, the way this show is produced and put together, you know, I mean, it's a very different time. I really feel like the pacing of the storylines a lot faster. You know, I mean, today's television viewer is, I mean, I hate to say more intelligent, but certainly more discerning.
Yeah.
You know, and
there's more to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, there's distractions.
Sure. Yeah, there's more channels. You know, more shows. Cable is obviously big now, and the stuff that's being produced on cable is, you know, it's of a higher grade. You know, and you know we have to stay on par with that.
Yeah. Now, Christopher is Bobby's son, or adopted son. Right?
Adopted son, yeah.
Explain to us a little bit about where he's at as we begin.
Well, I mean, you know, it's interesting that the pilot episode of the new series sort of mirrors the pilot episode of the original series, in that in the original series, Bobby returned to South Fork after a couple year absence with a new fiance, and the same thing happens here with Christopher. You know, Christopher's abroad in China developing this alternative energy patent.
Yeah.
And you know, he falls for Rebecca Sutter and brings her home to South Fork for his father's 60th birthday. Introduces her to the family.
Yeah.
But you know, my character is really about he's really about proving himself as a Ewing, being that he's not, you know, a blood Ewing, and proving himself to his father, proving to him that he's capable of you know, running South Fork when he's gone, and taking Ewing energies into the next generation.
And there's a lot more going on, but we don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, we don't want to give too much storyline away, but there's a lot of different conflicts, and it seems like, you know, my character's at the heart of quite a few of them. You know, yeah. So I mean, it's fun. It's fun. You know, my character, you know, he has a lot of different stressors in his life throughout the first season, and it pushes him to be, you know, kind of on the emotional edge a little bit, and for an actor, that's fun, you know. I mean, the great thing about Christopher that's very different from his father is that, you know, while Bobby's very level-headed and at times mild-mannered, Christopher has a bit of, you know, kind of a short fuse, and certainly has a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a great character. There's all sorts of levels to explore.
Yeah.
Which, again, a gift for an actor. Now, you would know better than anyone, having had more experience than most in nighttime, daytime drama.
Mm-hmm.
Passions and Desperate Housewives. How does this compare to those shows?
Well, Dallas is a very different show. But, I'd say it's in the same ballpark as the Desperate Housewives. It's incredibly exciting to be part of what looks like another hit TV show.
Yeah.
And all that comes with that.
Yeah.
It's a great ride. It's a great ride, and in just the short time we've been promoting Dallas, I've been all over the place. I mean, I've been to London, I've been to New York twice. I'm here in Toronto, so it's a lot of fun, But I think this show is very different in that it's more rooted in reality, I mean, this show is really about the interpersonal relationships of this dysfunctional family. And how with Housewives, Housewives is very tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
With moments of heartfelt, emotion and drama, and this show really centers on, this show's a really straightforward family drama.
Yeah. A little heightened reality. Perhaps.
Yeah, at times, but definitely more grounded than the original.
Yeah. And again with a modern audience, I mean, it's interesting to me that when Dallas was first a big hit, we were in a recession, and now we're even worse off. But the line, and truly the question's been answered, but the line as to whether we hate the rich so much that we don't want to sort of vicariously experience their lives, or because we're so broke, we're having a ball, sort of living that Texas lifestyle. Obviously, I think because of the ratings, it's the latter.
Well, I mean, the impact could be something else entirely. Actually, it could just be that more people are staying home and watching television.
Very good point.
And I mean, maybe I mean, we'd like to believe that we're kind of part of this movement back towards scripted television.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, competing with the reality shows. Although I think that's fading now. But again, it's a time. Because the original was a time when there were 3 networks and there was very narrow focus, and it was a whole different world. But now, it's so traditional that it's different. But obviously a great hit. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Continued success with it.
No, thank you so much. You too. You too.